Hi, everyone, and welcome to today's Awareness Wednesday. I'm Taylor Bunn, Executive Director of Hope for All, and I'm delighted today to have Amy Britton, the Vice President of Development for Envision Dallas. And then some of you will recognize Ashley Hill, who was with us when we did our Awareness Wednesday on restorative practices, and she did a blog for us. So for quarter four, for our Spotlight organization, we're going to be working with Envision Dallas. So Amy, tell us more about your organization.
Thanks, Taylor. We are so thrilled and honored to have this opportunity with Hope for All. I think our missions are aligned around promoting inclusivity and diversity in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, and Envision is just really happy to explore this partnership and see where it can go further. So thank you for having me today. Envision Dallas is an organization that's committed to improving the quality of life and providing inspiration and opportunity for people who are blind or visually impaired through employment, outreach, rehabilitation, education, and research. And what we know is there's about 150,000 North Texans who are experiencing vision loss, and Envision Dallas is here to help provide those services, programs, resources, really stand in that gap to help individuals experiencing vision loss to live independently and embrace life to its fullest. So our organization really is helping individuals set high goals for themselves and then provide the wraparound resources and services that they need in order to be successful.
So you have a video you want to share with us, is that right?
I do. I thought it would be cool to share just and we call it our umbrella video. It's an overview of our organization and the different programs and services that we offer. You can see firsthand the impact that we're making in people's lives.
We are Envision, and since 1933, our purpose has been to improve quality of life, create meaningful paths to independence, and provide a place of inclusion and support for this underserved community. In the midst of the Great Depression, we started out as a small workshop and training school with just 12 employees. Today, Envision has grown into an extensive not-for-profit that employs more than 500 people who are blind, low vision, and typically sighted. They are driven forward by a clear mission to improve the quality of life and provide inspiration and opportunity for people who are blind or visually impaired through employment, outreach, rehabilitation, education, and research. The different areas of our organization each speak to a key aspect of our mission. The result is a multidisciplinary approach that serves people who are blind or visually impaired at every age, level of ability, and stage of life. It's about creating a caring and comprehensive support network where employees and participants can affirm their abilities, explore their potential, and overcome their challenges. More than 70% of people who are blind or visually impaired are unemployed, but we're tackling the numbers head on. Our manufacturing operations in Wichita, Kansas, and Dallas, Texas give employees a sense of purpose. We are challenging the U.S. unemployment rate, which has been far too high for decades. In fact, we're one of the largest employers of the blind or visually impaired in the U.S. Envision has locations in 11 states that includes 16 military-based supply centers. We manufacture plastic products such as can liners, print collateral, military retail, writing instruments, military award binders, eyeglass cases, and textiles. Through the William L. Hudson BVI Workforce Innovation Center, Envision is increasing the availability of skilled professional positions for people with vision loss and creating the disability workforce of tomorrow. The center is placing an unparalleled focus on training people with vision loss, placing them into jobs, and providing accessibility inclusion expertise to businesses. As part of Envision Dallas, Bold Sales Solutions, a 35-seat call center, is adding professional job opportunities in the contact center field and diversifying revenue streams. While employment is central to Envision, we've always been about something more. Our diverse mix of programs and services help build confidence and combat the emotional and social impact of blindness and vision loss. Programs include the Kathy G. Hudson Envision Child Development Center, a level-up career development and STEAM program for middle school and high school students. Activities such as art, music, and golf. And Pride, a special program for adults who are blind or low vision and who have another intellectual disability. We are the voice of advocacy for people who are blind or visually impaired everywhere. At our state-of-the-art Bicknell Envision Vision Rehabilitation Center, we offer occupational and mobility training, physical therapy, and more. Because vision impairment is often considered a marginal disability by insurance companies, we provide these crucial services to clients regardless of their ability to pay. We also saw a need to increase our scientific understanding of vision loss and rehabilitation and remove functional barriers. Our Gigi and Carl Allen Envision Research Institute is focusing on applied research, not cures, and working toward breakthroughs that will improve daily life for those we serve. With blindness and vision loss expected to increase in the coming decades, we are creating paths to independence so people who are blind or visually impaired everywhere can celebrate ability and live to the fullest. We are Envision. Join us in creating a brighter tomorrow.
Really inspiring, Amy. So when y'all say you do wraparound services, you really are helping your clients with so many different aspects of their independence.
That's exactly right, Taylor. We talk about our services in terms of a continuum of care. So from cradle, where you saw the Early Childhood Development Center in Wichita. Here in Dallas, we do early childhood intervention through partnerships with our local school districts. So the continuum of care starts with the cradle, but then we go all the way into adulthood through adults who are newly losing their vision, or regardless if they were born with vision loss, we're there as a stopgap to help them navigate different transitions in life. And so one of our, tried and true programs is called SOS, Supporting Our Seniors. And so as seniors who experience age-related vision loss, explore opportunities to maintain their independence and live at home and not have to sacrifice all of their independence in that way, we have our program team go into their homes and make simple modifications. We also have Esther's Place here, where we can do some in-person occupational therapy and trainings on independent living skills.
Wow, I'm really curious about the mention of inclusion, and I'm curious, Amy, about how Envision focuses on inclusion in particular.
Thanks, Ashley. It's such an exciting time to talk about what's happening at Envision, because there is this renewed emphasis on inclusion. Specifically, when we talk about inclusion, we know that people with disabilities experience discrimination in facets kind of across the board, personally, socially. Having a disability is extremely isolating, and that certainly has financial implications in the workforce. And so through our Workforce Innovation Center, we are partnering with corporations who have prioritized inclusivity and diversity as a corporate core value of theirs. We come alongside them and help them accomplish those goals by doing accessibility assessments through technology, but also the physical space. Are there physical barriers that prevent people with disabilities from working within those corporate teams? Because what we know is our folks are excellent problem solvers. They've had to problem solve all of their lives for a world that's designed for people who have their vision. Our folks are extremely adept at finding simple solutions, practical solutions. They don't take no for an answer. They're an excellent asset to any corporate team, and our Workforce Innovation Center helps build those opportunities that otherwise aren't available in some corporate contexts. And these modifications are simple. They're, you know, barely a blip on many corporate budgets. It can be something as simple as painting an office space a darker color if the issue is light sensitivity, or purchasing a license for assistive technology support through a company like IRA. That's a partner of ours that we use here at Envision. And we have people with vision loss functioning in both professional roles and in the manufacturing roles that you saw in the video.
Wow, fantastic. Sounds like Envision has a really asset-based model of inclusion. It's really good.
Absolutely. We know that our folks are some of the most talented, and we really want to flip that conversation from our folks having to prove that they're an asset, turn that conversation around where corporate partners realize what an asset they are and are seeking out opportunities for them.
That's awesome. Yeah. So I saw that there are some education programs involved. What is the transition like from, you said like the cradle kind of early childcare environment to that middle school program? Is that in Dallas?
Yeah, so we provide similar programs in both Wichita and Dallas. And right now we have signed an interagency agreement with Dallas Independent School District. And so their deaf-blind program, the students within DISD who have both auditory disabilities or limitations, exceptionalities, I like to call them, visual, along with visual exceptionalities, those students, as part of the transition program within their school district, are using our facilities here to begin learning those independent living life skills. So we have a very safe environment. Safety precautions have been taken. We have, for example, tactile strips in our hallways so that as our folks are navigating with their canes, they can hear the difference between, you know, when they're kind of getting off-road, if you will, versus kind of staying in the main hallway. So modifications like that, but by being in a safe environment, they're able to learn those independent living skills, but then also interact with adults who are similarly, you know, have the same struggles on a day-to-day basis that these students have, and see those adults as role models performing professional jobs, you know, throughout our organization. So it really is setting the stage and the tone for them to begin exploring what their career aspirations are. And then here we are as a partner to help them realize those.
Nice. So do you guys have do you provide teacher trainings for like the local school districts on exceptionalities and different student needs?
So I think that's definitely an opportunity for us to explore. We do have Envision University that's focused more on practicing clinicians, so ophthalmologists, optometrists, occupational therapists, professionals from around the globe, even internationally, participate in Envision University. And we do not, we have had some teachers, but it's not geared specifically for school districts.
Okay.
Do have those partnerships. It's not ever been done within a professional development context. It's a great idea. I'll be taking that to our team.
Yeah, that would be really cool to see, especially as an educator. Like that's where my heart is. So I'm thinking about the partnerships that y'all. When I heard that in the video, I thought that was really amazing. And so I was like, that would be the perfect segue to like really educating teachers on how to be more, you know, inclusive of students that have those needs and exceptionalities.
So, you know, it's interesting you brought that up because I was just having a similar conversation with a foundation here that supports K through 12 teacher development in STEM, right? And so what we know with people with disabilities is their ability to access technology early really sets the tone for them academically and then also professionally, right? Their success is exceedingly accelerated by their ability to leverage the assistive technology that's out there. And unfortunately, with our kiddos who are blind or visually impaired, even using something like the internet, whereas in the main population, it's around 70%, 80% have accessed the internet around middle school age. With the blind population, it's around 30%. And those are rough numbers, but statistics are out there. And so the more we're able to introduce those technologies early through programs like Level Up, which you saw in the video, we know that we're having that early intervention and really helping them set the tone for their future advancement.
That's fantastic. Thank you.
Amy, we were talking earlier this week about the impacts of the COVID-19 pandemic at Envision. And you do have some opportunities for volunteers. Can you share with us a little bit more just what that impact has been and what your greatest needs are as we wrap up 2020?
Absolutely. Thank you, Taylor, for teeing up that question for me. COVID has had a huge impact on our day-to-day operations. We're an essential agency, so our doors have stayed open throughout the pandemic, and we've had to adjust. So I spoke earlier about our folks being problem solvers, and this is just one more opportunity for us to rise to the occasion. So we've had to adjust our programs where many of them are now being offered virtually, and understanding the whole issue around accessing technology, right? This is even stronger case for why we need our programs out there. Even using Zoom with a screen reader, that's particularly challenging for kiddos who find themselves all of a sudden having to learn virtually. Because so much of our training is one-on-one and it's based on physical touch, we've had to get really creative in the way that we're administering programs. One very pragmatic need that we have right now around volunteerism is regards to transportation and our employees. So because of the risk with public transportation, many of our employees are using we have coupons to reduce the cost of Lyft rides for them. So the Lyft drivers are bringing them and picking them up from work. But the difference between a Lyft ride and a paratransit ride is they don't have that assistance getting from the car to the front door. And so our programs and services team has had to redirect their time and resources at the beginning starting at 6 o'clock in the morning and at the end of shift, which starts around 3:30 and can last until 5. And so there is a great need right now for help, just simply helping guide someone from the front door to their car safely, right? That's a big need of ours, and we would certainly welcome anyone who's interested can contact you or me, and we'll get them set up.
That's right. So like I said, Envision Dallas is our quarter 4 spotlight organization. So Amy and I have been talking about this a lot, and we're going to take kind of a 2-pronged approach here on how y'all can help out with Envision Dallas. So our goal for this quarter is to contribute 75 volunteer hours to Envision Dallas through this opportunity to help walk their employees to their lifts at the end of the day. And so this will run until the end of December. It's Monday through Friday, 3 to 5. If you're interested, you can click the link on our website to sign up for our volunteer pool, and we'll email that information to you so that you can go through the Envision screening process and get set up for that. So again, that goal is 75 volunteer hours in this quarter. And then we are also, for those of you who want to get involved but aren't able to volunteer during this time of pandemic, we are asking for donations of $27.20, which is independent sector's 2020 value for 1 hour of volunteer time. So you can also do that right from our website. $27.20, and what we figured out was $2,020 is about 75 volunteer hours. So we're going for that theme of 2020 vision in 2020. So a couple of different ways to help out if that interests you. So we hope you'll lean in and help us help Envision provide these opportunities.
You're changing lives. There's not a better mission out there. If you want to have direct impact on somebody's life and improving their quality of life, it's right here at Envision. You'll have a great time doing it.
Amy, thank you so much for joining us today and telling us more about this really inspiring organization. I've learned a lot and just really commend you for all the work you're doing.
Yeah,
thank you so much.
Thank you for joining us. We love to have our previous guests come back. So really glad you could be here today and bring that education perspective. Thank you all. Check out our website for more information, and we'll be catching back up with Amy throughout the end of this quarter and getting some more news and information on Envision Dallas. We'll see you for the next Awareness Wednesday. Bye.
Bye, everyone.